Hey guys, welcome back to Kumasao Reviews. What we're taking a look at is one that was really anticipated for me. This is the latest in the metal build line. This is the ARX-7 Arbalest from Full Metal Panic. And it's kind of crazy. This is the second Full Metal Panic release they've had, but the first one was the Levitine. Both of these are mechs piloted by Sasuke. Kind of have to watch the anime to know what I'm talking about there. But basically, the Levitine is an upgrade from the Arbalest. The Arbalest was one that he piloted before this. This one got destroyed, and they were able to insert the AI, artificial intelligence L, into this new body, and it kicked a bunch of butt, and yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. So, Lambda drivers and weapons galore, and just insanity. But I really like the Levitine, but I like the more simplistic design of the Arbalest as well. So this is what we're going to go ahead and review today. Of course, we'll do a comparison between the two, but it's kind of cool. It makes sense that they released the Levitine first because it's the most current suit being used versus this one, which was in the anime and got destroyed. So yeah. But in a second, we'll go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that come with them, give you some close-up shots like normal and things, but just to give you a quick overview, of course, he does come with this base, which holds the majority of his accessories. He is about 7 inches tall, head to toe, and does come with a Sasuke figure, as well as a repair bay, personnel, and we'll go ahead and look at some of the other accessories, his blade, some of the Lambda driver pieces that extend out, you know, from his back and his shoulders and things like that. When it's activated, alright, it's got his grappling weapons, a piece here to go ahead and store. Either it's your choice. You could do his rifle, or you can go ahead and do his knife on his tail side as well. Tweezers just to help with, you know, some of the odds and ends, but it's pretty cool. And I knock Sasuke over. And while I'm getting him back in place, I'd just like to give a shout out to Alex at Ageless Geeks. He's the one who sold me this at a good price. You know, always great customer service and stuff like that. If you look, my repair bay, it actually came broken, one of the rail sides and stuff like that. So he actually walked me through replacement parts from Bandai and stuff like that. And actually after that, you know, this whole thing actually needs to be replaced because it's all one piece, this base. I'll do a video on that about, you know, going through that process, and of course Bluefin's customer service and stuff like that, which I'm sure will be great. They already told me that, you know, it's processed, but it takes up to 8 weeks for replacement parts to come through. Kind of a long time, 2 months, but I wanted to get it reviewed before then, so it'll be realist. But just letting you know what happened. Came very badly stressed, and one of the pieces was actually broken, and it just fell off. So, okay. It was random. Literally, took it by this, put it on a hitter because it has a cart that this part can attach to as well, and just fell off. But anyway, let's take a look at those accessories so they can get on reviewing this guy. Alright, so taking a look at Arbalest, he does come, of course, with his base, as you guys have seen, you know, since the review started. But, taking him off of his base here, it comes with a couple of different adapter pieces. One is posable, like you can rotate it up, down, and things like that. This is a pretty thin piece. It's not flimsy, it's definitely metal and stuff, but I'm not comfortable trying to use it as a flight stand, so I'm going to avoid that. They do adapt, I believe, to the 1/100 stands that come with, you know, like the Metal Build Gundams and things like that. So I mean, if you want to put them in those more flight or action poses and things like that on a stand, I'd suggest using one of those, you know, kind of just swapping them out, even though those are very specific and say the names of these suits. on the stand, but you know, I would not personally. I don't trust that because, like I said, even with my finger there, it's just nah. All right, so per design, you know, it's not the most detailed suit in the world. It's definitely got decent color separation and things like that, but I think it's very simplistic by design because of the fact that, you know, it was written in advance that the Levantine was going to be the successor to this, and, you know, it's easier not to miss a suit when it's not quite as, I guess, iconic. But I actually like the simplistic look. I like it a lot. Actually, my favorite suit from Full Metal Panic is the Blaze Raven. I cannot wait until that happens. If it happens, not trying to jinx anything, but it would be very nice. So let's see if I can catch it from here. But getting that out, moving that forward. All right, so you can see it's hard to really show, but we're going to try to shine a light specifically on it. It actually has a spot for Suzuki. So it has a seat that you can peg into there with Suzuki's, you know, upper torso on it. And that's pretty cool. That's a separate piece. And there's also an empty seat that you could trade out with it. But since it's something that's not visible, I just put Suzuki in there. But it does give the option if you are just one of those people that are like, all right, I'm going to put them on the base, and the Suzuki standalone figures on the base. Even though they can't see it, I got to have Suzuki out of the mech. You can trade it out. You can have it be as legit as you want. All right. But there's that. That's a roundabout. Alright, so the running plan here is to go ahead and go over the articulation of this piece, which is incredible. Then look at some of the accessories. Not all. That's something for the, you know, written review and gallery and stuff like that. I'm not going to say, here is it showing holding a grenade. Here is it holding a knife and all the other 50 things that come with this. You know what I mean? But it's nice to know what your options are, and that's why I make sure to show all the accessories. So you kind of know what to get in the box in case something's missing even. But articulation, some of the accessories, a comparison to Levantine, and close it out. But getting started with the articulation there. So you saw that because of the pilot setting, his neck can go a little bit up, so you can cheat a little bit there. But just in case that's clamped down, and you don't want to cheat, plenty of up and down head movement there. It is on a ball joint, it looks like. So there is 360, but be careful. All right, this is a painted piece. It is finished well, but you never know. You don't want to rub or, you know, chip any paint or anything like that. So there is some adjustment in the shoulders there. All right. And, you know, stuff like that happens. But they clip on and clip off by design because these actually open. I guess I'll give you a little preview. I believe this pulls up as well. You know, just to show the start of the Lambda driver activation. And basically when the Lambda driver is kicked in, that's when you can go into high gear, stronger, faster. You know, think about it like Fast and the Furious when they press the nitro or whatever. You know, that stupid crap. But anyway, taking a look, the shoulders actually do butterfly, which is cool. Full 360. Bicep swivel, double jointed biceps. And the joints here look to be die cast as well. Alright, so 360 wrist swivel. It does have some up and down tilt there, which is really cool. So ab crunch galore. Just stupid ab crunch. Of course, swivel there. Alright, now the hips. So these hips actually drop to make room for more movement. So we'll drop those. It's a nice strong click when you've got it either up or down. So we'll bring it back up. You can take one leg and do it. but just be careful. I try to, you know, clutch it so you don't just snap a leg off or anything. Now these back hip skirts, you can move those out of the way. You can see back, lots of front. Okay, then all right amount of to the side. You just got to make sure that this right here on the front of the hip isn't rubbing that. That will block it, and that gives you a lot more. Okay. And these are die-cast hips as well, so let's see how well it balances. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but... And the shoulders don't pop off easily. That's honestly me. I will take blame for that. So, I'm sorry, I'm semi-obsessed. Come on. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. So, plenty of balance there. All right, and from there, double jointed knees. And what's cool is that when you're using both joints, you could actually take the knee pad and bring that down for cover. Lots of ankle tilt and really tight ankles too. All right, there is front and back swing in the foot and separate articulation in the front of the foot. So pretty standard metal build stuff, you know. All right, we're gonna get it into a variety of poses, but we'll try an Iron Man pose. I haven't done an Iron Man pose with a figure in a hot minute. All right, this one might have to be faked a little bit. No, not too bad. Bring that down. Bring that down. I know that can't touch the floor there. Let's give it a little bit of angle. And boom, there we be. Alright, so I've got Arbalest in a seated position. And it's pretty cool. You can do repairs, diagnostics, and stuff like that, or simulate them. It's neat. So, this piece over here, like I said, try to grab it by the front, not the rails. Those are really flimsy, sensitive. That just snaps into there. Okay. So you could actually put him on a cart. This side of his head, or its head, actually comes off. Gets replaced with an open port. There you go. What's nice is that this is actually a flexible plastic, that nozzle. And it actually pegs in. I have the oddest time balancing this guy. Like, I can balance it on its own, but for some reason I cannot manage to balance him at the diagnostic. That's actually the best I've done. That's like the first time I've done it with only dropping the thing once. But there you go. And it really makes me wish I could paint on small scale. Like, I really, really do. And I give people who can, like customizers and stuff like that especially, all the credit in the world, because it would just make these figures pop that much more, you know, to have them painted. But anyway, there's that. Actually rotated some for you. Alright, so before I get into the Lambda drivers, I want to show you guys the electronic camouflage system, or electromagnetic camouflage system, but it's the ECS system. Basically, it's these little pieces that send pulses or something throughout various mechs, planes, etc. in the series to camouflage them. It's like the B-2 stealth bomber kind of deal to where it's not able to be picked up by things, almost like a Predator mode to some systems or whatever. But he has those sensors all throughout. So I know 2 of them are on his shoulders here. I'm just making sure that I'm doing it right, as well as get that down. There we go. There we go. There's one here. That area as well. Alright. This is already flipped out. Okay. Back legs here. 1, 2. This one you're going to need the included tweezers for. Alright. One under there as well. Alright, I'm just making sure. A couple on the sides here. Zooming out some. 2. And I forgot to mention that the name of these mechs in general, or these suits, are called arm slaves. Kind of like Gundams are mobile suits, these are arm slaves. Alright, and this thing is ready to cloak. Got some roundabout here. Actually put it in the center first. And it's pretty neat stuff, even though it's unnecessary. I love, that's a Lambda driver fin. But even though they're not necessarily one and the same, I really like having him displayed with these pieces out, as well as the Lambda driver fins, because it's just a good damned look. Alright, so since we're already kind of on the path 2, let's go ahead and on this one, when the Lambda driver is activated, fins come out. So he starts to open up in spots, and then you kind of see it psh, like something's being exhausted, and these fins extrude. Alright, so those are the shoulder ones. And those aren't even all the way there. You saw, just by tipping that out, start to pull out there. And then he has these fins that are right over here. For whatever reason, oh, okay, I have all 4. I was like, I'm going to have to cut off this darn video to go find the other fin. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So 2 are blatantly made for the bottom, 2 are blatantly made for the top. The ones with the thicker pieces here are for the bottom. They just clip on like so. Really simple way of emulating that. What's cool, these thrusters on the back do adjust if you want to do that. Alright, let's see. Kind of forgot how this one goes. But that's what instructions are for, so that's what I'm gonna do. Alright. It goes right there. Alright. So upside down and behind the thruster. Simple enough. Don't even have to look at it to do it, which is always a good thing. Alright. And that's only partial way. So we're going to pop those shoulder pads off. And these are shoulder pads where they don't do the adjusting up and down thing or anything like that. These ones are just Lambda driver is activated, fins are out, and it's ready to go. So it's ready to rock. I like how it has an option to kind of get it started or switch it out. for that full-on accurate look. There we go. The one thing that's pretty cool, because we're about to get into the accessories here, and I don't want to forget, he does from the anime have those hidden compartments for his knife, as well as his anti-tank grenade. I keep saying his, it's a mecha, but I guess you can count Sasuke. That's the him that I'm referring to. Yeah. And I did almost miss one cool detail. So, in the back you can actually expose the driver itself. So, give me a second to kind of remember how. Yeah, I need the tweezers to do that, but... there you go. And speaking of storage options, one thing that was really cool in the show, at least in my opinion, was when he would hold the knife on the front of his mask. So let me get this. It just pops right off. So he has the ability to have that look there. And I'm going to go for something here. I kind of got an idea. So I'm going to get his gun here. And these you could arrange them in a variety of ways, those ammo clips. So you could have them side to side. You could have them hanging off of each other. Kind of whatever you want to do. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take that piece that we had talked about a second ago. Put it on his back. Unfortunately, I need two hands to get it out. It goes onto the base pretty tight, but you can see from the time it took me right there, it comes off pretty easy. Alright. And both the cover plate and the adapter piece, they only go on one way because the groove on the tail there, it has a certain shape to it. Alright, so you can go ahead and whether it's its knife or his rifle, if you want to fit his rifle in there, bring that up, and then you can kind of, the best way to get it going is to kind of have it part way, then do all that, and it goes on top. Alright, but we're about to show him holding the gun here, so let's put the knife in there instead, so you could have that look. I guess you can keep that out, and then just take the blade itself, and boom. Oh, it actually clips in pretty tight. Now another option, in terms of storage for both, is just clipping them on the side. And then this clips on by the clip. Alright, now let's go ahead, get some fingers on here, and or get some different hands on, and see what we can do about getting him into a gun holding pose. I was about to say holster, and he's holstering it now. So I'll just leave that clip there. Not that big of a deal, but like I said, I'm not going to show him holding every knife and things like that. That's kind of, it's kind of silly. Alright, so I think I might have grabbed the wrong hand. Yep. It's the one, while I'm knocking everything over, he comes with two trigger hands. That trigger hand is actually the one that you use to hold a lot of the knives and stuff like that. The one to actually hold the gun has the trigger finger out in an extended fashion. And I don't know what is up with this toy and balancing. I'm not doing anything too crazy, but I am just destined to knock that guy over. I can't manhandle it if I'm not touching it. Alright, so get that pegged in. Okay. And part of the problem with this piece, well, I guess it's like a first world problem because it's like a spoil of riches. His ankles are actually so tight that you really have to adjust them every time you get him into any kind of different pose, even adjusting his legs in and out, because they don't adjust themselves. And that was it right there. I just kind of realized and remembered that. That's how tight his ankles are. Alright, so get this piece. Out, and that's pretty cool. And see how I have to really manually get in there? Alright, I'm gonna have to bring the camera up to make this one look as good as it should. Alright, 1, 2. Alright, and he is ready for some Lambda-driven badassery. Alright, so closing it out, I've got the side-by-side with a Levitine. And why didn't I review the Levitine even though it came out years ago when I bought this years ago? Fact is, I hadn't watched the show yet. I am a collector first and a reviewer, I guess, because I have a camera and like taking pictures, and it also takes video, and basically, you know, I'm always getting stuff, so I always have 20,000 other things I can review if I'm reviewing something. So just came in one of those high times where I had kind of just gotten into metal builds around it, so I bought like 50 Exias and, you know, I think like a 00 Razor and stuff like that, just a ton of stuff with it. And, you know, like I said, it was just a cool looking bot and just didn't at the time. I really need to turn around and do that now because it's an awesome piece. But anyway, this review has been about the ARX-7, the Arbalest, not the ARX-8, the Levitine, even if I should have reviewed that. Both of them are awesome pieces. Both of them display very, very well together. If you've gotten one, you kind of know what to expect from the other, because I'll say straight out, they're pretty much a reshell of each other, which they should be because it's a direct update from one toy to the other, even in the show, you know, a lot of similarities between the two. But on both of these die-cast frames, you can see it in the elbows, you can see it in hips and things like that, but that's the metal build line. I'd say almost if you played with one, you've played with pretty much all of them, and the Exia, if you're a Gundam guy, that would be the standard kind of for what you're going to get out of most of these. But again, awesome toy, awesome look, tons and tons and tons of accessories. I mean, I think it retails for around $240 or so, and most places that ship because they ship over $150, beyond worth it. This is one of the better metal builds I own, just because of my attachment to the series. Full Metal Panic is a lot of fun. I'm not really into real robots like that. I'm more of a super robot guy. But these ones are fun. I like the interaction with Al, the AI, and stuff like that, and kind of Suzuki, his development in terms of being able to pilot and get along with Al, and, you know, the Lambda driver and stuff like that. They're just little kinks and twists that make it not just there's a war, this guy's piloting this mecha, hopefully they win by episode 60. But anyway, again, awesome toy. Thank you again to Alex from Aegis Geeks for hooking me up with this at an awesome price. Check out the full review and pictorial on kumastyle.com. If I had to give it a rating off the top of my head, man, it'd be an easy 8.5 to 9 out of 10. But read the written review again for that official score. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.